If you ever wondered if you're a normal homeschool mom, then you'll want to listen to this. Because I am Teresa. I'm the certified life coach and graduated homeschool mom who walks alongside other homeschool moms to help them shed what's not working so they can show up in their homeschool and their family lives on purpose, intentionally, authentically, and confidently. And as I've been walking alongside homeschool moms over the last 5 or 6 years, I have seen that there are some common denominators. We experience similar things, but we often feel like we're alone in those common things. So I've recorded a list of things that I see commonly amongst homeschool mom experiences. We react to our children's bickering. We absorb their energy, and it bugs us. We don't want to be absorbed by it, but we also don't want to be bugged by them. We feel guilty when they fight because deeply we wonder if we taught them to do it because of our own inability to manage our emotions and our internal conflicts. We know we don't address our needs, but we don't have time for it. So common amongst homeschool moms. We don't treat ourselves like the human beings that we are. We have a hard time toggling back and forth between different kids and their needs and thinking 2 thoughts consecutively. We have a hard time maintaining consistent routines, even if we get them down on paper. We seek external validation. We want people to affirm what we're doing. We're afraid of judgment, so we tend to hide our true selves and not request other people to help us when we need something. We don't usually find a supportive space. We want to do it on our own because we are capable to do things and we want to prove to others or ourselves that we can do the thing. But we don't walk alongside other people to look for support. We often feel like online socials can be some form of a community, a place to connect, but we also distance ourselves and just keep online socials as the only place to connect. Sometimes we have conflicts that are continual with our partner and we know it's sapping our energy. It's affecting how we're engaging our kids. We know we don't feel aligned and intentional in how we're showing up, but we don't know how to address the challenge in front of us. We often don't know how to request it from our partner, what we need, and we don't request that they listen to our feelings. We don't feel like we're in this homeschool thing together. We don't have a common value or vision towards the bigger picture of our homeschool family. Oftentimes, homeschool moms feel overwhelmed, agitated, and stressed more repeatedly than they would like. They don't create a space and time for themselves. They tend to avoid conflict and not address conflict head on, but they easily feel tipped over the edge by it. Oftentimes, homeschool moms will say they feel inadequate to be their child's teacher. They feel a sense of imposter syndrome, but they also know how to come up with quick 3-point essays in their head about why they will defend the homeschool choice. They feel pressured to homeschool sometimes, and sometimes they feel pressured to put the kids back into school, and they don't acknowledge that they feel these pressures, and they don't know what to do about those pressures from other people. Sometimes they feel pressured to send their kids outside when their kids don't want to go outside. Sometimes they feel pressured to put the screens down and they don't want to limit screens. Or sometimes they feel like they're too constrictive or restrictive around screens, and yet other people are telling them they're being too restrictive. Sometimes they're being confident in how they're facilitating an education for their kids, but oftentimes they're uncertain if they're doing it well enough. They have a hard time leaving behind schooled mindsets that are affecting how they are expecting to engage in education with their kids. They want to keep themselves small so that they don't get noticed in a group. Maybe it's in their homeschool group. They could maybe participate in a leadership role, but they're playing it small. But maybe it's not in the homeschool co-op. Maybe it's in another part of their life. They're playing it small. They're choosing activities that don't let themselves shine. Sometimes they're not searching for validation from others, but they're really searching validation inside and asking, am I really good enough at all? Am I worthy as a human on the planet? Is what I'm doing in my role meaningful enough right now? That's a common conversation point with homeschool moms. Being overwhelmed by the daily demands of the house and grocery lists and all those things are common, but I already know you know that. And sometimes you feel like you're a failure in doing all of it because you're not doing it all perfectly or even well enough, even though what is well enough anyway? So I have 4 questions to ask you. A little bit of a current reality check where you are in your homeschool experience. The first question is, what is currently working in your homeschool? The second question is, what feels most challenging and why does it feel challenging? The third question is, how aligned is your daily routine with your core values and your vision for your homeschool and your life? And the fourth question is, what activities, habits, or commitments are draining your energy or taking away from what matters most? If you want to explore more, you can grab my Reimagine Your Homeschool Mini-Course and do a deep dive on all the elements that are most likely affecting the homeschool mom's life. But you're also welcome to book a one-on-one conversation with me to get to the heart of it and also to create a plan to address it. I hope you have a beautiful week.